Let's move on. My good friend Kade Crockford, who is over, of course, at the ACLU of Massachusetts, who, by the way, Kade Crockford was my guest at the first Laughing Liberally Boston comedy show last week, and she killed it. Kade Crockford, up there talking about civil liberties abuses, just killed it there. I just want to thank everyone who came out to Laughing Liberally Boston. By the way, thank you so much, all the performers and audience who came out. So Kade has this really infuriating report on how the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, if you know it, how FOIA requests are now being outsourced. If you don't know what FOIA is, I'm just going to read Kade's description because it's the easiest thing to do here. This is what FOIA is, reading from Kade Crockford at the ACLU's Privacy SOS blog. Reading it, quote, "The Freedom of Information Act allows ordinary people to learn about behind-the-scenes functions of our government. There are a number of limited, discrete exemptions to the law, which allow agencies to redact or withhold documents in whole or in part, but generally speaking, the law grants us broad access into the workings of our government, and is therefore one of the key mechanisms whereby we learn of illegal or inappropriate government activities." End quote. I could have described it better myself, so that's Kade's description. It's absolutely correct. So FOIA is very important, needless to say. FOIA is necessary for our democracy itself. It is necessary for government accountability, and it is now being outsourced to private corporations. It is being outsourced to private for-profit corporations, and it gets worse. It actually gets worse. Kade reports that one of the companies that has apparently received a Freedom of Information Act outsourcing contract, that is now making taxpayer money off of Freedom of Information Acts, is none other than CACI International. That's right, CACI International. And you might be saying CACI. Where have I heard that name before? And no, I'm not talking about the pants. I'm not talking about the color. CACI is CACI. If you don't remember who CACI is, let me remind you. Allow me to remind you. CACI International was the private military contractor that was directly involved with the torture at Abu Ghraib. That's right. That CACI. And I know you're probably feeling good. You're probably feeling great knowing that the Freedom of Information Act, that FOIA requests, one of the very cornerstones of our democracy, one of the very things that is allowing us to have just a shred of the crimes that some of our government agencies are doing. Do we actually know what our government is doing? I'm sure you feel great knowing that now FOIA has been outsourced to a company that was involved with torture. Look, it's messed up. There's no doubt about it. It's messed up beyond belief. It's messed up. Hell, it's messed up that they're outsourcing FOIA requests to begin with, that government agencies can't handle this themselves, that we can't just hire someone, that the government just can't hire someone, but hey, we gotta cut back government spending, right? We have to downsize government jobs. Better to have a for-profit company do it than a government employee that has some type of accountability. But yeah, why would you want a government employee that's somehow accountable to the people? Much better to outsource it to a for-profit company. Letting private for-profit corporations handle these requests, handle what gets redacted, what gets blacked out, what documents are allowed, what isn't allowed, that in itself is sick and wrong and twisted and against just the basic idea of democracy. Putting another middleman between the people and the government is already crazy and wrong. But to allow a company like CACI Bloody International to do it? To allow CACI to do it? Dear God. And look, here's the truth, folks. Tragically, this is under President Barack Obama. This is happening today. This is not the George W. Bush presidency. This is the President Barack Obama presidency. Barack Obama, who promised to be the most transparent administration ever. Which is, of course, laughable. Speaking of laughable, I wanted to read a quote. A quote. Look, and again, I'm sorry. Look, I know the polls between Obama and Romney are tightening. I know they are. I know they're tightening. I know there was a vice presidential debate. But you know what? I'm sorry. I can't not cover this. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. I would much rather be talking about how horrible Mitt Romney is. I promise you that. I would so much rather be talking about what a slimeball Paul Ryan is. But dear God, these are Democrats who are doing this, people. These are Democrats who are doing this. We need to know that. We need to stop them. I'm going to read a quote from Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, that he gave at a fundraiser just about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. He was talking about the differences between himself and Mitt Romney. And again, look, I am not someone who thinks there are zero differences between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. I don't believe that. You know I don't believe that if you listen to the show. You know that. But this is a quote from him. And this quote, seriously, it got me so upset. There was so much swearing involved. I'm going to try not to swear here because we're on the radio. But Barack Obama is talking about the differences between himself and Mitt Romney. And this is what he says. He says, quote, "We haven't talked about what's at stake with respect to the Supreme Court." Which, hey, okay, that is legitimate. That is a legitimate difference between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. That is a very legitimate reason to perhaps vote for Barack Obama, the Supreme Court. I will allow that. However, the next thing he said is what got my proverbial goat, if you will. The next thing President Obama said was, quote, "We haven't talked about what's at stake with respect to civil liberties." That's right. That's what he said. We haven't talked about what's at stake with respect to civil liberties. I am sorry. What? What's at stake with civil liberties? Wait, look. You had the gall to say that? We've talked about this time and time again on this show. President Barack Obama has continued virtually every single one of George W. Bush's horrific civil liberty destroying policies. And in many areas, he has in fact gone further. Barack Obama has in fact assassinated American citizens without a trial. He has. I wish that he hadn't. I really wish that he hadn't. I wish I could be talking about what a horrible person Mitt Romney is. I wish I could, but he has. He did it. I wish he hadn't signed the NDAA, which he now can imprison anyone he wants indefinitely without a trial. But he did. He signed that. I wish that Barack Obama hadn't expanded warrantless domestic spying, but he has. I wish he hadn't prosecuted more whistleblowers than any president ever, but he has. I wish, dear God, I wish that Barack Obama hadn't legitimized and expanded the civil rights horrors of George W. Bush. But ladies and gentlemen, open your eyes. He has. And he has the gall to talk about the differences on civil liberties between himself and Mitt Romney? Please. Oh, sure, I assassinate, but Romney will assassinate more. I warrantlessly spy, Romney will spy more. What the hell is he talking about? I mean, it's one of these moments where I actually have this thought, is the president actually delusional? Is he delusional? Does he really believe this? Can he possibly believe this? If he believes this, he's out of his mind. And that's really, really frightening, if he actually believes this. But more likely, does he just think that we're not paying attention? I mean, obviously, all right, folks, obviously, a great deal on the left really don't pay attention to stuff like this. A great deal on the left were perfectly fine with Obama assassinating people. They're perfectly fine with the spying. And that's horrible. And that's awful. They're fine with Obama assassinating American citizens without a trial, as long as it's him doing it and not a Republican. I mean, is that his argument? Is that really what the point he was trying to make there? And look, what's even crazier about this whole thing, is that he brought it up. He brought this up in a talk, in a speech. He wasn't asked about civil liberties and Mitt Romney. It wasn't a gotcha moment. He said this on purpose. by choice, by himself. And look, again, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Either President Obama is 100% delusional on this topic, or he was ineloquent, he misspoke, what he meant to say was, look, folks, you're fine with me violating civil liberties because I'm a Democrat, so you better give me lots of campaign money, you better give me a lot of money, or a Republican might do what I'm doing right now, but he'll do it to you. We'll be right back.